Thanks for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. You can find us wherever you find podcasts or listen to music. When you have an opportunity, please give us a 5-star review, write a little note, tell us how we're doing. We really appreciate it. It helps us keep this thing going. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us at Facebook at Hidden Tracks. Instagram is at HiddenTracks99, and if you'd like to send in submissions or talk to us or give us any feedback about what we're doing, our email is myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? I got Louie from Tiny Voices here, a nice, let's call it, they are Midwest, sort of, so out of Wisconsin. Great band. I threw them on here before for our nice weekly 3 segment of things we're listening to, so it's very exciting to have someone from the band here today. So, Louie, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, Shane, thank you so much for having us and for having me. Really looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. So why don't we, start real quick? How did Tiny Voices come together, and how did you guys meet and start to decide to make the fucking brilliant music that you're making?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Funny enough, we all lived together for quite some time. We all went to college together, and then I think one night, like at some random college house party, we were just like, "Hey, man, like we're all musicians. Like, why aren't we in a band?" You know, it was kind of like one of those like, oh yeah, we can do this kind of thing. And yeah, we were all friends prior, like 4 members, 4 out of the 5 members, we all went to college together. Bailey, Ben, Paul, and I. Paul, Ben, and I were all in the same music program together. So I had them in a lot of my classes, and more often than not, I saw them 24/7 for like days upon days. So we got to know each other really well.
I'm surprised you're still friends.
Yeah, right. And especially as you get older, that kind of friendship is hard to maintain with how like busy life gets. But yeah, we're still kicking it. Bailey, Tiny Voice's other guitarist, actually has been a friend of mine since high school. Actually, he was one of my like first friends when I first moved to Wisconsin. So we kicked it off. We shared a lot of the same music interests, and so naturally, when it came to forming this band, it just we were all really good friends as is, and yeah, we're like, yeah, let's start a band. That sounds like a lot of fun. And now here
Well,
we are.
yeah, I mean, here you are. You got music out, you got music released, and from everything that's out there so far, and it's really fun to watch a band that hasn't been together for that long, but the leaps and bounds from your first two songs to what you guys recently put out is just it's a I want to say a gigantic transformation in a short period of time, and that's invigorating for an old man like me who loves music to watch bands just not like, oh yeah, let's be a band and put out some songs and then they do it again and it's just the same old. Like there was a major leap to what you're doing now, and I just want to commend you on that for the musicianship that came with the newer sound.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. That really means a lot to us. It really means a lot to me too. Like you said, we've made some leaps and bounds, and I won't deny that. At first, when we first started getting together and writing music, our first two songs, it was actually just
Airport and
Bailey and I.
Reaper, which were like, and it's one of those things that I go back to that they're great songs if that's all you had, but when you stepped up from that, like I don't even want to play those songs for people anymore because I'm like, no, that's not who they are anymore.
Right. Yeah. Airports was actually the first song we ever wrote together as a band. We just wrote it like in our living room, just kind of messing around, and just starting to like get a feel for each other and like each other as a band, I should say. It's a lot of our like first band. We had never been in a band prior to that, so we were still figuring out like how to like write songs together. And for me even, I was messing around with this new guitar tuning, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Do you play guitar? Do you play like any instruments,
A
Shane?
lot of different stuff. So
Yeah, so you I'm sure you've heard of the typical Midwest emo tuning that a lot of like American football and
yep.
all those other bands use. And so it was my first time dabbling around with that. And so Airports was kind of the product of like our very first time like actually getting together and just like hey, let's write a song. And then
So
Reaper, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no. So I mean, when you get that first tune, right? Like if that's the first song you come up with, and did you immediately go into, okay, we have a song, let's go to another one, or did you just try to perfect Airports before you moved on?
Honestly, we are just like, yeah, I mean, this is pretty much done. Yeah, let's get to the next one. And yeah, Reaper was a song that Bailey and I had wrote because we had been in a few quote unquote bands, but we had never really gotten anywhere. But we did write Reaper together, and then Airports was a song that we wrote as a band together. And then that was originally going to go on an EP with, if we refer to Where the Time Went, Oranberry and I Don't Even Like Lobster. Those two songs were also supposed to be on a release with Airports and Reaper, and then COVID happened.
The
So
the C
yeah,
word, you know,
yeah, the
the
C word.
it's taken over the connotation of it's now the real C word. There used to be another
Right,
one, that
right,
British people use all the time, and it's cunt. I'll say it here, but
yeah.
it blew up a lot of shit for a lot of people. So
Yeah, we were supposed to go to a local studio, and then COVID happened, and then I was like, all right, well, I was pretty like I'm kind of like the guy in the band that's like, that's like proactive and like does like all of like the managerial stuff and like booking, and I'm the guy that's cracking down in the
yeah,
band. So at
you
that
you
time,
you make the ship run. You're the captain. Hey, we got to
right,
do this if we want to fucking
right.
move forward.
Right. And yeah, so at that time I was like, guys, like we really need to put these songs out. Like we're not gonna get anywhere if we don't do this. And I was being a little harsh, but it took that entire summer to record those two songs in my bedroom. And DIY or die, baby. And about like 8 months later, January 1st, we put out Airports and Reefer in 2021. And that's kind of like how those first two songs came about.
Now, moving on, and you get 4 songs out there, right? Did
Yeah.
you finally like realize that this could be a thing after like the next 2 songs came out and said, "All right, we're seeing some traction behind what we're putting out. Now we really got to step up our game," or was it just let's make some songs to make some songs like we just did?
Um yeah, when we put out Airports and Reefer, at that time it was kind of like, it was just us getting together and, just putting out some songs, just kind of doing it for fun type of thing. And then as Where the Time Went came around, we started getting like more show offers, and we started, playing out more and staving up a bit of money. And that, we're kind of like, hey, this is, we're starting to notice a little something here going on. And, we've met a lot of people throughout that time. We made a lot of friends, a lot of connections, and just a lot of things just kind of happened for us in 21, right after or in between Airports and Reaper and Where the Time Went, and then especially more so after Where the Time Went came out. I could talk a little more about like how like Where the Time Went came about, and like how we've noticed this trend of like, hey, maybe this is something we can do.
Yeah, man, this is your show. Give me it.
That was
Give us
my
the
show.
goods. Yeah, it's your
Damn.
show.
All
Give us
right.
the
All right.
goods.
I'll give the goods. Yeah. Honestly, I owe it a lot to Twitter. I
X.
was.
You mean X? Let's call it by
Oh
its real
yeah.
name,
Right.
okay? Come on,
Right.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, sorry.
I'm
My bad.
uh, I'm turning it into your show, and you're fucking it up already by giving
I'm
people the
fucking it
wrong
up, man.
information. It's
Yeah.
X, not Twitter. No.
X. You're right. Yeah. Yo, Elon. You can send me the invoice. You know my email. You know where to find me.
Yeah.
Uh. Yeah. So I was scrolling through X, and I saw Chris Freeman, the guitarist of Hot Mulligan. He tweeted out, and he was like, "Hey, if any band wants to work work together in the studio, like hit my line." And I screenshotted that tweet and I sent it to the band chat, and I was like, guys, what if? And like Hot Mulligan is like, for all 5 of us, is like probably like our favorite band. Like that, Hot Mulligan, Charmer, and Free Throw are like the 3 bands that were like, we want to fucking do this thing. Like
Yeah.
we want to be a band.
I saw all 3 of them last year. I'd probably say twice. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Right. And I ironically enough, they're all going on tour together
Yep.
this coming spring. So we will definitely be there. We will definitely be there. But yeah. So I sent that screenshot to the van, and they're like, "Hey, I mean, what is the worst we can do? What the worst they can say is no." So I was like, "All right, let's do this." Hit up Chris. He got back to us, and he was like, "Yeah, like let's do this." And we were like, "Holy shit, we're going to New Jersey to make an EP with Chris Freeman of Hot Mulligan." And that was like a major. I would say that was kind of like where the first major leap happened, because we're just a bunch of like 21, 22-year olds. We're still like in the middle of like college, and we're just like, yeah, let's go out and let's do this thing. And it entirely came out of our own pockets too, by the way. We
Well,
went
yeah,
broke. We went
I'm
broke.
sure.
We lost the money, but it was worth it. And I'll happily do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, well, you're going to work with someone that you admire, right? So
Right.
you're getting that seal of approval from someone that you respect and admire. So at that point, money really doesn't mean anything. It's like, hey, this is what we became a band for. So if we're going to do something with it, let's do it with someone that we know can do it, because that's who
Right.
we want to be like, and I get
Right.
that.
Yeah, and just it was just like it was just an awesome experience, like overall. Like we learned so much. We got to work with, someone we really looked up to. We got to make a new really good friend in Gary Sione, who's also the producer and engineer for Make Up Your Place, and who we are also doing our current LP with. Wink,
Nice.
wink. Yeah, and we got to meet Gary, and yeah, it was just awesome. It was the first time any of us had been in like a professional like recording studio, you know, playing. Let me tell you what, it was super nerve wracking playing guitar in front of Chris Freeman. It was
I'm
just
sure. Yeah.
like unbelievable. I was just like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now.
That's when all you can think about is fucking up.
Absolutely.
You can't even think about playing the song correctly. You're just thinking about, I'm fucking this up. I'm fucking this up. Even if you're playing it perfectly, you're like, I'm fucking this up. He's going to hate this.
I
Like,
remember like vividly like strumming my first few notes and looking at my fretboard, and I was just like, it looks like my guitar strings are spaghetti noodles right now. Like I'm like internally like freaking out. But yeah,
but
I was like, oh, don't fuck up, don't fuck up.
but that's awesome to get that, that pat on the back, the seal of approval. You get a little bit of it's a bottle rocket. It's not a rocket ship yet, but a little bottle rocket,
Right.
on
Right.
your
A little
back.
yeah.
And that's a great rub. And I mean, you can tell the difference in someone's hands on taking your vision of what you guys want to be and starting to help you sculpt it. Like I always say, like, you know, sometimes you need more than one artist to paint a picture. You know,
Right.
one artist sees it one way and another artist can look at it and say, hey, why don't you do this and make it better? And a lot of times people get shit on for, taking advice and doing things like that instead of staying true to their own vision. But sometimes when you get somebody that knows what they're doing, that's the time that you just fucking perk up and you listen.
Right. And that's kind of what I really love about this band and how the five of us work together, is that we're all very like honest and like open with each other, and especially when it comes to writing, and especially like on this new LP that we're working on, like, we're making sure like everyone's happy with like everything, like every single little detail.
Well,
And
that's awesome. And you got to make sure, that there's going to be times when you're going to be traveling a lot and doing a lot of crazy shit, and you got to keep that focus on where you came from and
right.
going into things knowing that, hey, listen, we're all doing this together and we all want to make sure everybody's happy with it. And you got to keep that. Maybe get a recording of all of you doing that, so when shit does start to hit the fan, when someone's tired and cranky and everybody's gets bitchy, you just sit down, you plug it in or shoot it to your Bluetooth and play, hey, remember this is what we're doing it
Right.
for.
Yeah, this is what we're doing it for. We're doing it for the love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it sounds like you guys are in college. Music was a big part. When did, as a child, when did music kind of take a hold of you? Like, how old were you? What was it that you heard as a kid that kind of, made you think differently about what music could be?
It started with the year 2006 when Guitar Hero 1 was released to the world. I remember walking down like Walmart, and I was like, as every little kid does, I was about 8 years old in 2006. Yeah, I was hanging out by like the PS2 displays, and I was like, obviously playing like the video game demos and just hanging out there. But I very, very remember specifically the day that like Guitar Hero came out and I saw the controller like in the glass display. I was like, Mom, I need that. I was like, I need that right now. But and
What was the song off of Guitar Hero that just grabbed you? That you're like the one that you kept playing over and over again because you loved it so much.
Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne.
Nice.
Because yeah, it's crazy how like vividly I remember it, because I was like progressing like through the campaign and I was playing it through hard mode, and Bark at the Moon was the one song that I needed to like finish the game, and I could not beat it. So I played it over and over and over until I got like really good at the game, and then yeah, Bark at the Moon. It'll forever be stuck in my head from the amount of hours I like put into Guitar Hero. Not
Well, that's
just for
all.
that game, but just like my entire life.
Well, that's awesome that a song from
Yeah.
almost 20 years prior to you being alive is the one that grabbed you and said, "Hey, fuck yeah, here's music. Now run with it."
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I like a lot of things music related. I It stems to like Guitar Hero for me.
Now, after playing Guitar Hero, was that when you said, "Mom, now I want a real guitar"?
No, I didn't even play real guitar for like another 10 more years like after that. I didn't
Wow.
start playing guitar until yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster of a story. I didn't start playing guitar until I was a sophomore in like high school. So that was like 2013. And yeah, I was a late bloomer. So I was 15 years old when my friend Steve in high school, he had an extra guitar like lying around, and I was like, "Hey, I'm like really interested in like learning." And he was like, "Oh, you can just have this." And then he showed me what tabs were, and
Yeah,
the first song I learned, okay, a totally random fact. The first song I learned by ear was "Call Me Maybe" by Carly Rae Jepsen.
that's okay. You're allowed to. You're
That
allowed
song is
to.
a banger. I fucking love that song. I don't care what anyone says. That song, certified banger. And the second song I learned was the second, not overture, but it's 2112 by Rush, and it's the
Wow.
Temple of Syrinx. That's the second theme or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first song by Tabs I learned on guitar.
Wow. So Carly Rae and Rush.
Rush, yeah, what
Guitar
a
tunes.
such a
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
weird combo. Yeah,
Yeah. Let's take a simple pop song and one of the most complicated rock bands of all time, and let me learn those two first things. That's awesome.
yeah, it was.
Unique.
Yeah, it's a very unique experience. Like how I started just in music in general is just kind of just so random.
All right, so you go to do that. Now this is just because this was my life in music. As soon as you pick up an instrument, you try to find other people that may play instruments, and you got to get together and you come up with a band name. What was the first band name you ever came up with?
Oh my god. Oh no. Bailey, if you listen to this, I'm so sorry. Yeah, so our first band name was called Ancient Youth. I cringed just by saying that. We thought we were so clever when we were like 16, and what's that thing? What's that English term that's called where it's just like you put one word with like the opposite of another?
I don't know. I wasn't an English major.
Damn, neither was I.
Yeah,
But ancient and youth. We were like,
yeah.
haha, that's so clever. God, I hated that.
Sounds like a shitty punk band name.
Oh, let me tell you, we were worse. We were like trying to be like a metalcore like cover band.
So I can see the horrible writing on the cover right now.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You can imagine just like the attack synths and like, just like heavy breakdowns. I still love breakdowns to this day though, so
Oh, I get it. I love breakdowns so much.
let's
It's some
go.
of the best parts of live music is when it's done perfectly.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Now,
And if
from
there's a bass drop involved in it too.
well, yeah, from Bark at the Moon to when you started to find your own music, what was it like? The first thing of music that you found that like you felt was your own.
Like music that I've listened to
Yeah,
or
music
like
that you listen to. Like you're just like, all right, I'm going to search out stuff. No one's telling me what to listen to, and I'm going to find something. What was like the first thing that you found yourself, and you're like, this is my music.
oh boy. Oh, that's hard. What I have to think about that.
All right. Hey,
Yeah.
we got
And
time.
okay, so when you say your music, you're talking about like music that I write or like
No,
music I
that you
listen to
listen
now
to.
or
Yeah, that you listen to. Something that you found that you're like, oh wow, this is the music that I need to be listening to. After Ozzy's Bark at the.
after Ozzy's Bark at the Moon. Okay, I could break that into like seven different waves.
Go ahead.
So okay, so Guitar Hero 2 had songs like Beast in the Harlot by like Avenged Sevenfold, and it had 6 by All That Remains, and like it had Thunder Horse by Death Clock from like the TV show, and like that was kind of like my introduction into like heavier music. And then my friend in fourth grade showed me like Metallica, so I kind of started getting into like the heavier,
It's a
like
good friend.
yeah, yeah, great friend. Honestly, I owe a lot of my music taste to him. Shout out to my boy Joseph if you're listening to this. You probably don't remember me, but that's all right. I remember you.
Hey, everybody needs a, as I call it, a spiritual guide when it
Yeah,
comes to finding music. I had my own. His name was Alan. He worked at the record store, and it's where I got all my music and all my taste from, because he was like, "Hey, check this out, check this out." You know, walking into a
yeah,
record store as a kid and just having that guide say, "Hey, listen, this is good," and giving you an opportunity to figure out whether or not you were going to like it, not force feeding. Just say, "Hey, check this out."
yeah. I mean, but what was the dude's name?
Alan.
Alan. Yo, shout out to Alan, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alan. Um, yeah. So he showed me all the heavier stuff, and then like in like middle school, some kid showed me "Pray for Plagues" by Bring Me the Horizon, and then I just listened to that album, "Count Your Blessings" on LimeWire, and then to like fast forward even more to high school when I first met Bailey. Bailey showed me the Wonder Years,
Oh,
and that's when I started really getting into like pop punk, and then our true bonding experience, like our first, like we were just like, yeah, we're gonna be friends for like the rest of our lives. Like moment was like 12 years ago. We like snuck out of our houses to go to a concert in Chicago, which at the time was like 3.5 hours away, and a tall order for two 16-year-olds.
yeah.
And and yeah, we saw Somos, Knuckle Puck, Foxing, and Modern Baseball.
Wow.
And that show, I would say that show was like, yeah, like this is my music. Like I pretty much just went down the rabbit hole of like Tumblr era like pop punk and like 2010s like emo revival and like just like everything like Modern Baseball and like Marietta and like Title Fight and Basement and like Touche Amore. I was like on like every corner of like music after that show, pretty much.
That's awesome. Now, when you get that bug, that itch, and you guys decide to get into a band, and Bailey's there, is that like, hey, listen, you remember that show? This is kind of what we want to do. Was that like a visceral feeling that you had? Like, remember that show? That's the kind of music and how we want to play.
Oh yeah. I think we talk about that show all the time. And I feel like we talk about it a lot. Just like not only from that show, but just like we've been trying to write music like for forever. And we didn't have like our first opportunity until like maybe 6 or 7 years of like trying to actually like do it. And so every time we like hit a milestone or like we play like a super awesome show, we're just like holy shit, dude, like look how far we've come. Like, and I swear with each and every show, and it's like as time goes by, I feel like I say that at after like every, you know, just every show we play. We're like, holy shit.
That's good,
Yeah.
because you can, to have that feeling over and over again. I mean, that's the kind of shit that you need to bottle up and fucking save for the rest of your life and spray it on you when you need it most, you know?
Right.
Now, when you start doing this, and you had mentioned sneaking out of the house, so mom and dad now know that you at 16 years old snuck out. Did you get in trouble for that? Did you get caught? You had to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh
had to
yeah,
have.
dude.
Yeah.
I yeah, to make a long story short, I actually ended up getting kicked out of my parents' house. And so I ended up living with Bailey around that time. And so yeah, I mean that we got to know each other real well.
Yeah.
Let's
Now,
say that.
was that your first concert ever, or what was your first concert you ever attended?
The first concert I ever attended, God, this is it always serves as a blur, but I want to say it had to have been Warped Tour 2010 in LA. I was 12 years old, and the my friend who showed me Metallica in the fourth grade, his older sister was like, I want to say like a junior or senior in high school, and so she was old enough to be a quote unquote guardian and take us to a like an outdoor music festival is what I told my mom, but it was Warped Tour 2010.
Wow.
And
That's a
yeah.
great first show. That everybody that I talk to usually has the greatest like first show experiences, and mine are my first two are just straight garbage. My third one takes the cake, but
What was your first two? Now I'm curious.
my first one was Kenny Rogers. You know, the
Kenny
gambler.
Rogers.
Yeah. Got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know
I'm
when to
gonna be
run.
honest with you. I have no idea who that
All right.
is.
Yeah. So old country man. There was a Kenny Rogers
Okay.
chicken place too. The second one was a old country singer, Barbara Mandrell. And then my third one was Suicidal Tendencies. So like the progression was
Ooh, okay. The
pretty crazy.
progression, yeah.
And never looked back after that Suicidal Tendency show. So
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad the third show. Third time's a charm.
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I was a kid and I was being dragged to some shows that my parents wanted to go to at the time. So
You saw Suicidal Tendencies when you were a kid?
yeah,
That's sick.
I was 13. Yeah.
13.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was 12 when I saw Warp 10. I
Yeah.
thought you were like a 5-year-old seeing like
Oh no,
Suicidal Tendencies.
no.
I was like, whoa, dude.
No,
That's
that
sick.
would be sick. But yeah, no, it was yeah, it was 13. I think that was like the first time that I like same thing was like, oh yeah, my friend's brother's old enough to be our guardian at a suicidal tendency show. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
still here to talk about it.
My parents were like very not about that kind of music. So a lot of the times if I wanted to go to any show, it was definitely like, oh I'm just sleeping over Bailey's. We're definitely not going out to a show or anything like that.
Yeah, I was very lucky.
But Bailey's parents were totally cool with it. So
Yeah, I was very
I don't know.
lucky in life that later on, like once I hit high school, I went to shows all the time. And my parents are like, listen, just make sure you're okay. And it was easy for me to live
Yeah.
right outside of New York City. And it was like constantly going to shows. Like it was just awesome. So I was very lucky.
Yeah, like we didn't really have like much of like a local scene up where we were at. We went to high school in Appleton, Wisconsin. And so yeah, and like any of like the bigger shows was like at minimum a 2-hour drive no matter where you went.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
That's
definitely harder for us, and yeah, we didn't really have much of a DIY local scene for like
Yep.
underground emo, like
Yeah.
Midwest emo and
We
stuff
had a
like that.
we had a very vibrant scene. I'm in New Jersey, right outside New York City. So like, I mean, I always tell people, I'm like, the bands that you fall in love with, you gotta like. I saw one of my favorite lineups and stories is always seeing Strike Force, Antarctica, the Get Up Kids, and Jimmy Eat World at my local roller skating rink.
What? You saw
Yeah,
Jimmy Eat World? Yo,
yeah,
that's a
and my
band I really want to see.
yeah, with 12 people there at a roller skating
12?
rink. Yeah, it was right before they put out Clarity. So like they premiered the
Yeah,
song Lucky Denver Mint at the show at a fucking roller skating rink in Jersey. It's insane. And I
I'm
saw him at
so jealous. I'm
yeah, I saw
so
him at a
jealous.
firehouse, our local Wayne Firehouse here too. It was like
Yeah.
growing up in that era for local VFWs and like roller skating rinks. The shows that I saw and things that I could tell you, people were just like, oh, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "No." Like, and I got
Oh
people
yeah,
still friends to this day that we were at the show together. And like, dude, can you believe we fucking saw those? I'm like, hey, we were lucky.
yeah. Jimmy Eat World and the Get Up Kids.
Yep.
Just to 12 people. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's what
I wish I was one of those 12 though.
that's what you got to do as a band though. You got to go play those shows so you can
Absolutely.
end up somewhere else. And that's the kind of stuff too that, trying to tell young bands who, I've talked to some young bands and they're like, I just wish we were bigger than we are. I'm like, do you really think that people just all of a sudden put out an album and then a year later you're huge? Like that
No,
happens to
Ooh.
one band a year. What makes you think you're that band? Like you got to work at it. And then once you work at it and you play those fucking dingy fucking shows, one day you'll be opening up at Radio City Music Hall for somebody. Like that's how it works, but you got to put in the work.
Right.
Don't. 10 years, I always say 10 years. If at 10 years you're still playing the VFW and you haven't moved out of it, then, if you're still having fun, keep doing it. But if it's not fun and it's just a painstake, then guess what? Maybe find some other people to make music with.
Right. Yeah, it is a lot of work. It is definitely a lot of work. A lot of a lot of people don't realize a lot of just like how much like business goes on like within it. Even at like the DIY level. Like it's damn near, I tell people it's a full-time job outside of the full-time job I already have.
It has to be. I tell people you're not if you're truly in it to be something, right? You have to, the first thing is you have to write good songs. Okay. So check mark for you guys. The second thing is you have to build a brand. You're no longer a band, you're a brand because you have to build that. You have to do all and jump through all the hoops. And then when you build a brand, you have to run it like a company. Because if you don't, it's going to fail.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. Bailey works in marketing, so he definitely knows, he understands that whole concept and what we got to do. And that's why I think Bailey and I work like well together, especially when it comes to like the kind of the business side of Tiny Voices.
Well, you have to be, otherwise, one day you're going to wake up with nothing. So,
right, yeah. One day we're going to go out on tour and we're going to realize, hey, we don't have any money to buy gas, and then we're stranded.
Do you remember your first performance as the band Tiny Voices? Do you remember the first time you performed live in front of people as a band?
I absolutely remember it.
What was that like?
I think a week or 2 weeks ago was like the anniversary. I want to say the 4 or 5 year anniversary. We weren't even called Tiny Voices at the time, but it was like our first show together in front of people. And
what did you call yourselves at that time, or did you not have a name yet?
I'll be honest, we hate the name, so we prefer not to bring it up. But I just know at that time it was just kind of something we did for fun, and we didn't really. It was just like, hey, we all go to college here, but nobody throws shows, or like no one does like local music. And I was like, we should throw a show. We should throw a show, and so we threw that show, got some locals to play, and we just did covers for fun. We did like we did a System of a Down cover, we did a No Effects cover, we did the variety was just, it's just kind of like, what the fuck. But it was a ton of fun and people just went bonkers over it. I remember some dude was like handing out tortillas. We were all in this like shitty basement, and this dude was just like handing out tortillas to everyone. And this is really gross, but I remember there, like where I was playing or like where I was standing, there was like a hot water pipe right above my head. So I put the tortilla on said pipe and it like cooked it, and I ate it during our set. Oh, we also did Killing in the Name. That one was really fun. That was a lot of fun. I definitely saw some violence go down in the pit towards that.
Yeah, a lot
during
of
that song.
Yeah, a lot of fan participation at that time for that song.
Yeah, that was our first show, and it happened. I'm just now realizing that it happened damn near almost 5 years ago, or 5 years ago. Wow.
So to date, what's your favorite, or what's the show that you played that, prior to going on or coming off stage, you just stood back and was like, fuck, I can't believe this is what we're doing?
I can think of 2 or 3 shows where I've had that moment. The first show was the show that we played with Kenny Hoopla, that we got offered to open up for Kenny Hoopla, who's just like this massive, like big artist, like, has like worked with like Travis Barker, and he's actually originated from the same town that we did, Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm talking like this was like a Live Nation like stage at like an outdoor festival in front of like our like state's capital in Madison, Wisconsin. And we were I think there was like over there's like over 1,200 people or 1,500 people that showed up at the end of the night, but at least for our set there was at least like 700 to 1,000 people.
Wow.
And I remember because this was like an outdoor stage, like a legitimate, like, like concert stage. And we
Yeah.
were like, holy shit. And I remember like just like in the steps, like backstage, like looking out into the crowd. And I was just like, oh my fucking God. Like I've never seen this many people in like one place. And yeah, I don't I don't think I had ever been more like nervous in my life until we played like that very first note. Like I
And then
felt
it all went
myself
away.
aging in that moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it all went away. But in that moment I felt the clock ticking. I was like, I feel like I'm like 60 years old right now. You know?
That's when the 20-minute set feels like 4.5 hours because you're not sure what's happening right now.
Yeah, like the 5 minutes leading up to our start time, it felt like an eternity. But once we like, got like through that first note, that first song, I felt really good. Like the nerves went away.
That's awesome. I'm happy you guys had that opportunity because those are,
Yeah, thank you.
not a lot of people can say they've done that, and that's where sometimes I think people take things for granted too, especially when they perform. If there's not a lot of people there, they kind of get upset and don't give their best performance. But, for me, I
Yeah,
always try to tell bands like, you never know who one of those 5 people that showed up is. You never know. So give it your all, and you
right.
never know you could be saving someone's life that night by putting on a kick-ass performance. So
Right.
every time you go out there, think that it could be your last time playing and just go for it all.
Yeah. And I make that a point every show too. And like in my head, like no matter what, like I'm always giving it 200%. Like I'm always drenched. I like just dripping in sweat at the end of our show, no matter where it is. Like, I'm always making it a point to go like extra, extra hard, even if
Nice.
it's killing me. Yeah,
Now
like
I can't
I
wait to
will
see you
straight up.
guys live now. I can't wait to see you guys
Yeah,
perform live now.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I'll straight up start cramping during our songs sometimes. Just like I'm going that hard, I'll just be like, "Oh God!" Like,
you need to drink
I'm
pickle
sure.
juice 2 hours before you go on.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Pickle juice
Yeah. Pickle
that
juice,
prevents
man.
cramps
Yep.
for real.
For real. For real.
Yo, I didn't know that. I knew
Yeah.
something like with like bananas.
Well,
I knew something.
bananas are good for you too. Eat those in the morning, but pickle juice, yeah. I used to playing soccer, you cramp up because you're running for fucking 2 hours, and fast sprints, and you just drink pickle juice, man, and all the salt and everything just replenishes your body and goes right away.
Well, I'm gonna have to talk to Bailey about that because Bailey was in soccer, and he didn't know anything. He's never said nothing about pickle juice. So I'm gonna ask him why he's been keeping that secret from me.
Yeah,
It's kind of
it's
messed
you,
up, man.
listen. You can WebMD it. I'm
WebMD,
not.
you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
I'm not Dr. Phil or anything or Dr. Oz, but I can tell you what does work because I know it does. But all right, I
Yeah.
got a question for you.
Okay.
Maybe hard to answer. Sometimes it is hard to answer. But
Yeah.
if no one ever heard of the band Tiny Voices and you had one opportunity to play them one song of yours and only one song that you would say, okay, here's our band. What song of yours are you playing for them?
Does it have to be what we have out currently, or
It
is it like
has to currently
unreleased?
be released, so if
Currently
someone
be
can
out.
go listen
Okay.
to it. Yeah.
Minnesota Wild.
All right. Nice.
I definitely think it's our most accessible song. It's our most accessible, but I also feel like it really showcases all of the highlights of our band in one song, if that makes sense.
No, it does. It's definitely a blendful song where there's many different tones that you can hear, many different styles
Yeah.
competing to be number one. And that's what I love when I hear songs like that. Like when I heard that song for the first time, I was like, I love hearing everybody competing to be the number one part of the song. It just makes a song better. And Minnesota Wild is one of those that I play Tony Vices is one that I play as well.
Tony
There's
Vices.
yeah, and I know it's always a hard song, but I always try to for people to pick, and I'm always just like, hey, listen, pretend you're sitting in front of Clive Davis and you only can play one song out of your catalog for him to understand you. Like, what are you picking?
Yeah, I think my vote would be on Minnesota, or Oranberry.
All right. Well, I like how you had that answer really fast. That's great.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you
that's
say
what
that's your
I've.
favorite song you have out, or is that, or would there be a different song? Because they can be two different songs. Like you can have
Yeah.
your favorite song that you've released and a song you would play for people. But is that your favorite, or do you have another one?
My personal favorite song. That's pretty hard. I would have to say "Anything Anyone" off of "Where the Time Went"
That's
would be my favorite
I
song.
I have that written down here as my sleeper.
Your
Like,
sleeper, really?
yeah, I think it's a sleeper song that it's a song that to me, when I listen to it, it almost doesn't fit who you are now, but it's exactly who you are. If that makes any sense to you.
Right. No, I 100% believe that. I stand with you on that.
Do I mean anything to anyone anymore? Did I mean anything to you at all? Do I mean anything to anyone sitting in this room? I tried my best to crawl out, but I'm laying in my tomb. And the Reaper says it's time, but I don't wanna go yet. Then he says it's fine. You're easy to forget. Do I mean anything to anyone anymore? Did I mean anything to you at all? You say that you still care, but your actions don't show it. You said you were mine forever. I knew somehow I'd blow it. I try to stay out of my head, but the ghost won't leave the door. I do my best to ignore. You always find a way through. When I ask them what the problem is, they say it's not me, it's you. Do I mean anything to anyone anymore? Did I mean anything to you at all? You say that you still care, but your actions don't show it. You said you were mine forever. I knew somehow I'd blow it. Did I mean anything to you at
That's
all?
how. It's funny because that was something I brought up to the guys I think on the way to recording our current LP. I was just like, man, why does everyone only likes the riffy part of Tiny Voices, but no one likes the pretty sounding Tiny Voices? What's up with y'all? Because I like Reaper. Okay, like Reaper, I kind of understand. Anything, anyone, and Seasons, like yo, that's like the two like aside from the LP, that's like the two like prettiest things I've ever written. And y'all be listening to that the least. What's up with that? What's up with that? Y'all don't like pretty music? No, but
no. And you got to understand too, people, certain people, they just want to rip all the time. And
oh yeah,
and I get it, but at the same time, sometimes you just need to fucking chill.
Yeah. I'm I am such a big fan of like slow burns. And I think that song personally, I think that song builds really well. And I think the payoff is worth the wait.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I stand by that song being our number one, but most people don't agree with me on that. And that's okay, but come on.
well,
I
slow burns are amazing. And I mean, back in the day in the early 2000s when, late 90s, early 2000s, and it was probably late 90s more so, like the slow burns of emo music were fucking amazing. Like there was a Jersey band called Penfold. You want to talk about slow
Yeah, I
burns?
know Penfold.
Every song's a slow burn, and they did just fuck your face up when they get to the breakdowns. It's like fuck yeah, like this is awesome.
Yeah. That's like my favorite thing in like any music is the build up and the breakdown. That's always my favorite thing, no matter what it is. Any
I love it
genre.
when you think you can feel it coming, and it doesn't come when you expect it, but it still comes later on.
Right. Right. I wish I could spoil some things on the LP, but I can't. I
Yeah, no,
can't.
let's
Or maybe I
listen.
can, but
Don't spoil anything because all
yeah,
this
no.
does is build anticipation.
Oh, that's right.
Right? That's what we're trying to
Making
do.
the payoff. Yeah,
Yeah, we're
dude.
trying.
We're building it up.
Yeah, we're casting our line into the ocean, and we're just slowly reeling
Slowly
it in.
building it up.
Yep.
That's right.
All right. Last song you cried to.
Ooh, last song I cried to. Yo, straight up, it was oh, why am I blanking on it? Why am I blanking on it? Is it cheating if I look at my Spotify history real quick?
No, it's not.
All right,
It's
all right,
it's not cheating.
all right, all right, all right. Hold on. Face ID won't recognize me. That's crazy. I guess it makes sense. I also like shaved off like all of my hair, so it probably just like doesn't like recognize who I am. Yeah, random fact. Listening history. Okay. Fuck. What's today? Today's Tuesday, right? No, Wednesday.
Today's
No,
Wednesday.
today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Fuck. Wait.
Even though if you're listening to this, it's Thursday, but that's because we come out on
Yeah,
Thursday. So
we come
check
out
it.
on Thursday. Oh, I just saw it. Lake Sprinkle Sprackle by Delta Sleep.
All right. All right.
To be honest, I don't know why. I love math rock. Or I love like any mathy music, and they have this one specific section where it like bounces back from 4/4 and 7/8 and like just some like random 5/8 bar in there. I probably don't even remember that correctly, and I was just like, damn, that's beautiful. And then like the lyrical content behind it, I was like, it's like it had to do something about like, to me, how I interpreted it was just like being like overwhelmed and like stressed out about life, and I was just like, damn, man, I really felt that.
No, and I think what happens too, if I ask that question sometimes, like people pull up a sad, sappy song, and like I've cried to like really heavy punk songs before because like there's
Yeah.
lyrics that caught me off guard and then just like make me like it encapsulates what I'm going through 1000% at that moment. And then I just fucking lose it. And there's just like this awesome punk music in the background, but, and I get goosebumps and I get teary eyed and like, fuck, man, it just fucking took me over.
Yeah. Yeah. And not even sometimes for the sad part like aspect of the music, but like a lot of the times it's just like the like I like instrumentals. I fucking like love instrumentals. And it's something I like really pay attention to a lot more than lyrics, to be honest. And yeah, so like, if I'm under the influence and I'm like listening to like music, for example, like I love like American footballs, like instrumentals, and like they're so like fucking pretty and like I don't know, just like the soundscaping of it, I'll just start crying to that because I just think it sounds like just so pretty, you
Nice.
know,
Well,
or like
I'll have a nice surprise for you when we get to our weekly threes of things we're listening to because I have an instrumental band on there. So,
ooh, is it Chan?
no,
Oh,
but
was I close?
no,
Damn.
but all right. Here's one. World's gonna end in 5 minutes. You have to listen to one song before everything goes away. What song are you listening to?
I'm going out on an ass beater. I'm gonna listen to "Hopeless Portrait" by Chamber.
Wow.
I'm just gonna, yeah. I fucking something about chamber. I've been really into like heavy music lately, so like just like a lot of hardcore, and I've been really fucking with chamber, and that song is just chaotic, just like any mathcore, just like any like chaotic music, like Callous Cowboys, Converge, Dillinger Escape Plan, Chamber. Like, yeah, I'm going down on like a chaotic note. That's what I would
Nice.
say.
All right.
And
Now,
it's only
what?
like a minute long, so I'll listen to it like 5 times.
Yeah, you just put it on repeat until it
Yeah,
goes
put
out.
on repeat.
Hopefully, when the big fiery ball of death hits, it's at like an epic part of the song on the
Yeah,
fifth play.
that song is entirely epic. So
Awesome. All right, what do you listen to that people be really surprised a kid like you listens to and gets tons of enjoyment out of?
I fucking love Lady Gaga. Like, love Lady Gaga. And
Wow.
I
Oh,
fucking love Katy Perry.
all right. So on an interview earlier today, the interviewee picked Lady Gaga as well. Which, listen, it's totally fine, and I say she fucking rips. She's awesome. But yeah, a Midwest emo kid listening to Lady Gaga and getting tons of enjoyment out. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Is an answer like that. So
Yeah. It's the Fame Monster Deluxe. My first two CDs I ever bought with my own money, the first one, oh, I bought them together, but my first two CDs was And Justice for All by Metallica and The Fame Monster Deluxe Edition by Lady Gaga.
wow, that must have been
It
some
was quite the purchase.
yeah, quite the purchase. When you purchased it, did you say this is for me and this is for my sister, or were you just like, no, this is what I like?
Oh no, I had no shame. Straight
Yeah.
up no shame. So I didn't have there were like occasionally because we moved a lot as a family. So there would be times where like I didn't have like a TV, so all I would listen to was the radio, and I listened to like whenever Lady Gaga came on the radio, it was just like a song that just like fucking always just like not that I understood any of the words, but just how catchy it was and like the melody and everything. It's just like I was like I love this. It was always in my head, and like yeah, it was just like such a staple for me in like the 6th and 7th grade. Just Lady Gaga, the Fame Monster. I was like, this shit bops. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. All right. So, how about is there a band in your life that you constantly turn to? I always try to preface it like Rolling Stone calls it your favorite band, but I always call, a band that never lets you down. Like when you don't know what to listen to, you just constantly go back to listen to this band or an artist.
Yeah. I think of three artists total, like specifically
All right. Give me all
one
three.
of yeah, one of them would be the Wonder Years, The Greatest Generation. That is an album like I'll always you can put it on and I'll never get sick of. And seeing their 10-year anniversary, actually, yeah, that the 10-year anniversary show, that was another time I've definitely cried at because I was like, damn, I listened to this like 10 years ago. And like you fast forward 10 years now and yeah, I'm like slowly like relating to the songs that Soupy wrote about when he was my age. I'm going to be 26 in about 2 weeks. Like exactly 2 weeks from today. And yeah, I'm just like I've been heavily relating to it and it's definitely made me pretty emotional in the past few months. The Greatest Generation by the Wonder Years is an album I'll always turn to. Charmer LP1,
Mhm.
Charmer self-titled. That's another album I'll always turn to. It was kind of like I kind of connect that with like the my realization uh into adulthood type of thing. It's kind of like a major like I'm like growing up type album for
Yeah.
me and just like
Well, yeah. And that's what music
yeah.
does. I've said it 1,000 times here. Music is the closest thing in reality we have to a time machine because you can put on a record and remember the sight, the sound, the smell, like everything that was going on when you listen to that record again.
Yeah. Yeah, Charmer LP1 is yeah, it always just kind of gives me like that nostalgia factor and also kind of like that midlife crisis factor, but I won't get into that.
All right.
And the third band would be Hot Mulligan, whether it be probably just like every song of theirs. Honestly, I love like all of their songs, but that yeah, when I talk about giving myself like a reminder of like where I came from in this kind of like music and like what I do today, I owe it really all to like Hot Mulligan because I saw them. Oh, why am I blanking? They were opening up for Knuckle Puck. It was at Free Throw, Hot Mulligan, Boston Manor, and Jetty Bones. They're opening up
Wow.
for Knuckle Puck on their Shapeshifter tour in 2017. It was, I want to say, 2 weeks before Pilot came out, and I saw Hot Mulligan and Free Throw for the first time, and I was like, "Holy shit! Like, what is this? Like, I had never heard of this before."
Wow.
And that show was just like, another like I really like it really just like inspired me to like just start like making music.
Well, thank God you
So
saw that show.
yeah, thank God I saw that show.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to keep you here all night, and it sounds like by the teasers we've been getting, we may have an opportunity to speak again somewhere down the line because there could be an LP coming.
Oh
Wink,
yeah,
wink.
wink wink.
And so right now, before we move on to our final segment, I'd love to give you the opportunity to tell everybody how it is they can, follow you, find everything that you guys are doing, and stay abreast about everything coming from Tiny Voices.
Yeah, the best way you can follow us would to what is the best way to follow us? Definitely Twitter and the Instagram. We're definitely most active on those two. We don't really use Facebook that much, so sorry to all the moms and dads out there. I promise if you hassle me about it at shows, that I'll start doing it just for you. TikTok, TikTok always feels funny to me. I don't know why. I'm like in that weird age where like I'm like too old, but like also too young. I don't know. I don't know. I was at the tail end of like Facebook, like one of those kids.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, definitely most active on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow us that way. I don't think we have anything else. You can follow us on Amazon Music, on Deezer, MySpace if you're into that. I should make a MySpace. Is MySpace still a thing?
It is. It's owned by Justin Timberlake.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Justin
Wait,
Timberlake?
you think I just
No.
you think I just made that up?
Well, no, but I'm a little
Like-
skeptical. Justin Timberlake of all people?
Yeah.
I thought it was owned by like that Tom dude.
No, Tom owned it, so sold it to Google. Google didn't know what to do with it, and Justin Timberlake bought it.
No way.
Yeah.
Yo, actually, no. Wait, Google says Tom Anderson. Oh no, it says former president.
Yeah,
Why does it
former
tell me
president.
who's the current owner? Justin Timberlake.
Like, what? You thought I was lying to you, bro?
No. I'm in denial. I'm in shock. This is
Yeah.
why Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing.
Listen, I can't get caught in lies here on my own show.
No. I know. I'm just what? That's mind blowing. You just blew my mind with that.
That's awesome. Well, that's a great way to move into our final segment. Blowing someone's mind before we end the show, which is fantastic. So you pull up your Spotify again because you're probably going to need it. But we're in our it's our weekly 3 segment. It's 3 things you're listening to right now that you would like people to check out. You give your 3, then I give my 3.
Okay. My first one will have to be Excuse Me, Who Are You? They're from Madison, Wisconsin. They're some of our best buds. I love them to death. And they just write amazing like Midwest screamo, I like to call it. You got that good mixture of Midwest emo and some screamo. It's Midwest emo with breakdowns, and if you don't like breakdowns, then I don't know. There's got to be.
Then you've been listening to the show too long.
Yeah, you've been listening to the show too long. Another band would be Aren't We Amphibians? They're from San Diego, California. Another emo band, Up on the Comin'. What am I saying? They're good. They're popping. They make great emo. You should definitely check it out. And for the third one, I'm gonna stray away from emo. Let's do something a little. Let's do something a little. Honestly, I've been really listening to a whole lot of Jar, the album Jar by Super Heaven.
Mm-hmm. Great album.
Yeah, great, phenomenal album. I've been listening to that a lot lately again. Yeah, check those three out.
Nice.
What you got for me,
Good
Shane?
three. So
Good.
my first one is a Scottish pop rock band. They just dropped a new single called Free World, and the band name is called Copper Lungs. The song Free
Copper
World
Lungs.
fucking bangs.
All right.
Number 2 is a band called And So I Watch You From Afar. The name of the album is Jettison, and they're an instrumental rock band from Ireland.
From Ireland. And So I Watch You From Afar.
Yeah, that's the name of the band. Yep.
Instrumental rock. Like, are they like on along the lines of like intervals, or like?
I would say that they're a mix between Alpha Male Tea Party and Explosions in the Sky.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
You know who Alpha Male Tea Party is?
No, but I do know Explosions in the Sky.
Okay, well, I think you would. They're not on my threes. They're not one of my threes. They've been on here before, but Alpha Male Tea Party, dude, check it out.
Alpha Male Tea Party?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, check them out. And my third one for this week is a band called Fluorescence. They're a Chicago pop punk band. They're playing they're playing the singles game on Spotify. So if you just do what I do and I create a playlist with all 15 of their singles and just make my own album so I can listen to it all in a row. But they totally fucking kill.
Yeah, they do. We played a show with them. I want to say it was in the winter time. We played with them at X-Ray Arcade, and they were fucking phenomenal. And they were also just the nicest people.
That's awesome. I like to hear that.
They were awesome. I definitely want to set up a show with them again.
Well, Louie, thank you so much for being here today. And first and foremost, thank you for creating the music that you have that brought us together, because that's the most important thing, is bringing people together. And music seems to be the only thing that does it, to bring two strangers from different parts of the countries and the world to be able to talk and have a great time. And I think it's really important. And I hope people don't take it for granted in their life, but thank you for creating and putting your heart and soul out on a line for me to judge and for me to fall in love with.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shane. Thank you for having Tiny Voices, and thank you for having me on. Like, this was awesome. I've never spoken on like a podcast before, and I've never had the opportunity to just like kind of just blab and just talk about like the history and just like all this other stuff. So yeah, thank you so much. This was a ton of fun.
Awesome, man. It's my pleasure. And the way you guys are creating music, you're going to have a lot more opportunities like this, because I'm sure everyone's going to want to talk to you once you guys blow up. And that once that bottle rocket becomes an actual rocket on your back, I'm going to be sitting back with my hands on my head being like, I knew it.
You knew it. Yeah. Flying away like Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah. But thanks again. And everybody, you know what time it is now. It's time to go out, listen to Tiny Voices, and have a great fucking time.
Another weekend, ignoring every obligation. Drown out the noises till I feel responsibility fading. I'll set reminders and ignite them all together. Drown out the things that matter and waste my time on things I like better. I'll get out and be productive, but give up and feel redundant. I'm trying to get better, but I can't get past the way that I am. Lying on the couch because I can't stop feeling worthless. I'm trying to ask for help, but I can't find the words to tell you it's wrong. The weight of this blanket, my habits are making me wonder if I'll ever get over these bad fucking patterns that feel like they're killing me. I'm trapped in my mindset, my vices won't set me free. Waste all my savings, eating fast food on the daily. I can feel my stomach turning, I feel like shit, my body must hate me. I'm getting older, sliding under. The weight of this blanket, my habits are making me wonder if I'll ever get over these bad fucking patterns that feel like they're killing me. I'm trapped in my mindset, my vices won't set me free. And I wonder, will I ever get over this hunger? Cowering over my head in my bed while I'm trying to fucking sleep. My vices won't set me free.
Thanks again for tuning into the Hidden Tracks podcast. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at HiddenTracks99. Also, send all your submissions to myhiddentracks99@gmail.com. Tune in next week. You may find your new favorite band. And don't forget to go out and have a great fucking time.